Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Well, the Site Selectors Guild has released findings of its 2021 Outlook survey on corporate location trends, and consultants project a sharp increase in site selection activity and reveal really a positive outlook for corporate investment. 80% of consultants say companies will move forward with site selection projects. That's up from just 65% in June. There still will be some workforce challenges, though, like skilled labor shortages, and despite new opportunities with remote work. Here now to break down the survey, the potential impact on Indiana, Ginovus Executive Managing Director Larry Gigerich. And as always, Larry, thanks for joining us from your office in Fishers. This survey is one that people pay attention to. Who puts this together?
Yeah, so the Site Selectors Guild does this survey annually, and then we'll do a couple updates throughout the course of the year. And as a part of that, we then share those results with corporate decision makers and economic development officials.
Let's look at the overarching kind of takeaway, at least for me here. The survey showed a fairly sharp increase in site selection activity for 2021. So you're pretty optimistic, or have become optimistic, about what's ahead this year.
Yeah, I think for sure, as you look at the numbers, Gary, we saw when COVID hit about a year ago a real halting effect on economic development projects. And what we've seen now is a steady increase, especially over the last 6 months. And in particular, I mean, to have 80% of site selection consultants believe there's going to be a significant increase in activity and projects will move forward is a great sign for the economy.
As we see biotech and life sciences, advanced manufacturing, transportation, logistics, among those kind of those hot sectors, if you will, all in the sweet spot of Indiana. But in particular, Larry, industrial activity, warehouses, industrial activity would seem to be something that stands to do pretty well this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's a couple reasons behind it. COVID really has accelerated the adoption of e-commerce and shopping activities because so many people were forced when COVID hit to do more shopping that way. So I think that, along with companies just continuing to reevaluate their supply chain and where they make product and where they distribute from, along with meeting that last mile of delivery, is something that's really important. So yes, the industrial sector is poised for a lot of success going forward, while the office market will still see some choppiness as we figure out how the remote working transitions back to some in-person working in office space.
Yeah, is that whole office situation, again, kind of a work, as you suggest, a work in progress? I think a lot of folks want to get back to the office, but how that looks, no one, I don't think, knows for sure right now.
Yeah, I think there's more to sort out. I will say this, that we're seeing with a lot of our office user clients with facilities throughout North America are indicating that they're going to have some percentage of their workforce will work remotely, either on a permanent basis or for half of their time, where they may be in the office half the time and remote the other half. So it'll still have to sort itself out, but there will be a change, and there'll be a change in the way space is designed. You won't see people packed in close to each other, perhaps like you saw in some settings in the past.
Yeah, Larry, back on the industrial segment of the market, Jones Lang LaSalle estimates that the U.S. will add another 1 billion square feet of warehouse space by the end of 2025. Again, looking at Indiana in particular, how we're positioned, where we are geographically, crossroads of America, e-commerce on the rise. Does that bode well, in your view? Very positive for the state of Indiana?
Yeah, I think without a doubt. I mean, our geographic, position or location, so to speak, is outstanding when you look at manufacturing and logistics. The fact we've invested so heavily in our road infrastructure in our state has been a very important thing, and that will yield dividends for us. And we've had a talent pool to support both manufacturing and distribution for a long period of time. All those position us well, I think, to have success in that space.
Yeah, and you mentioned talent, the talent pool. There still is, though, some questions, a bit of a challenge around skilled labor and how that could impact, in particular, a state like Indiana.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We went through this COVID experience and we saw unemployment rates really jump. I think a lot of people felt like that would relieve some of the pressure on the talent issue, but that really wasn't the case. And in particular, in a number of areas, both to support manufacturing and logistics, but also on the office and tech side, lots of shortages continue for skilled workers. And really, we're facing also an issue of people who have left the workforce who may not come back.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really interesting to watch how it affects talent in Indiana going forward.
15 seconds left to kind of put a bow on this. This would seem to be a bit of optimism as we head into 2021.
Absolutely. And I think Indiana having the right fundamentals in place in terms of a business climate and investing in itself has positioned us well coming out of COVID.
All right, Larry Gigerich from Ginovus, as always, some great perspective on what's ahead for economic development. Larry, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Gary. Always good to be with you.
All right.